So right now, Bitcoin is at a very defining point in the trend. Right now, we're still remaining above this short-term uptrend that we're in right now. But if you back out to the 3-day or the weekly, and you just draw a line at your two outermost resistance points being the 20K peak and the drop right before 6K, or drop below 6K, if you just connect those 2 points, you'll see that right now we're finding ourselves at that resistance point right now. So the really interesting thing, guys, is that, Bitcoin is on an uptrend right now, but we are at a very critical point for the overall macro bear trend, right? So we're at a very defining point right now. If we break above this resistance point, a lot of things change. I would become a little bit more bullish. I would be willing to consider that maybe the low for Bitcoin could be in, and that maybe we would be actually finding ourselves, getting some sort of double bottom retest of 3,100 before moving out of here, going into the future. But that's all hypothetical. Right now, we're still holding below our major macro trend resistance line right here. And we're at that point right now where it's a pretty critical decision point for the market. Is Bitcoin going to break our macro bear trend, or, possibly become more bullish, get some more sideways action on the macro perspective? Or are we going to break down and continue the bear trend and hit our lower price channels around the 2000 zone, something that I've been talking about for over a year now, right? Personally, I think this is much more likely. I think it is much more likely that we fall, below into our lowest support channel around the 2000 zone, and before we have a real uptrend here. I think this outer resistance line is going to be governing our resistance for quite some time. I think this is what's going to guide us into those lower prices, right? So I'm keeping an eye on this resistance trend right now. I think it's quite critical. And right now the volume hasn't really changed all too much, guys. Really, and there's also now reports of the volume possibly being fake. That 95% of crypto or Bitcoin volume could potentially not even be real. And if you're just looking at the trend right now, we had a sell-off here, and we came down to the 3,300 level or 3,400 level. We found a little bit of uncertainty, but we ended up getting a bounce to the upside. And right now we're running up to the 4K level. We're finding a bit of uncertainty here as well, in a very similar fashion, just in to the upside. So I personally think that a break below this upsloping support and start trending down a little bit is the more likely scenario right now, possibly validating our upsloping support line here once again. I think this is the most likely scenario right now. And if this does happen, guys, where we find support here, I think we're going to be pushing back up against our macro bear trend, resistance trend that I was just showing you guys here. And I think ultimately that's going to guide us to lower prices. And I think we will be hitting lower prices in this market. But again, guys, I just want to point this all out to you. We're at a very, very critical spot in the overall trend for Bitcoin. And we haven't really seen true higher highs yet. It seems to me right now that we're finding a bit of a lower high here on the trend. We're finding a bit of a lower high here, just remaining within this trading range. Personally, I think downside. I think seeing 2,500 before we see 5K is very likely. I think we'll be moving down. I think we'll hit 2,500 before we hit 5K. That is what I think right now. I think we're still well within this bear trend, and there's no real change in volume here. And I really do think that this, the market environment hasn't changed, and I do think lower prices are coming in this market. And yeah, guys, that's about it for today. If you liked the video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video.